All right. Okay, first of all, Assalamualaikum and good morning to everyone. Welcome to our writing articles, newspaper articles webinar, which is hosted by myHCI-UX and Kuala Lumpur ACM-SICAI chapters. So myHCI is stand for Human Computer Interaction for Malaysia chapters. So today we have Dr. Shamsul, Associate Professors Technologies, Dr. Shamsul Arrieya Ariffin from Universiti Pendidikan Sultan Idris. Currently, he was the head of Educational Usability Testing, Creative Industry Consortium of Excellence, and basically he has a PhD from University of Technology, Sydney, Australia, and his research interest is about mobile learning, human computer interaction, HCI, and gamification, and many more. So basically our guest speakers has been authored numbers of newspaper article. I'm supposed it's 22 based on the CV that I have. And then many proceedings and journal is more than 200, and he has also been awarded a few grants and also write a few book chapters. So our guest speaker is a very reputable person who can share writing tips about how to write newspaper article with us today. So without any further ado, I think I will pass to you, Dr. Shamsul. Yes, please.
Okay, can you?
Yes, okay, we can see. Yeah, your slide. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Haziq Lim, for your introduction. Thank you, myHCI, for inviting me to this session. Actually, this is my first time that for me to present in front for myHCI in the virtual room. So hi everyone, hi Dr. Murni, hi Dr. Mashita, hi Dr. What else I can see here, and all the participants of this workshop. Yeah, so basically this workshop is on the tips how to write a news article. So at first when Dr. Haziq invited me to present this workshop, I a bit worried because you know, because my experience is just for a few years only in writing articles. But however, I think that maybe by conducting this kind of sharing, I can at least share with you all some maybe tips that you can take with you. Then you can also have the idea and the framework on how to, let's say, a guideline to how to write a newspaper article. Okay, and the reason I write this presentation in English because maybe there is an international audience who knows, right? So I just prepare and prepare the slides in English. Yeah. So basically that is on the title, how to write. So this is basically what that Dr. Haziq has said about me just now. I also one of the ACM members, and I also have more than 24 years working in ICT fields. I come not from the background of education because I come from the industry. I work for 7 years to 8 years in the industry, such as in ICT fields, for example, in AIG Software International, as software engineer, and also I work as a system engineer in technology data center. I also was working in KL as programmer in NIT India as IT trainer, and also a lot of ICT fields related job. Then I joined Lim Kok Wing University. During that time was 2005, I think. And then I went to UPSI and began my career as lecturer over there. I received my PhD my PhD is software engineering from Faculty of IT, University Technology of Sydney. So I specialize in mobile learning in the aim to bridge the digital gap of ICT for the benefits of the community. So my teaching area is maybe, you know, software configuration management. I also teach a subject like ACI, Introduction to Java and C++. I also have grants that I just finished on the FRGS, Student Generated Activities in Mobile Learning. And currently I'm working with a grant with Center of Excellence, which is a creative industry consortium, which is the main head is by University Utara Malaysia, and UPSI is as a satellite of educational usability testing, which is actually we are part of the consortium where I'm a head of this educational usability testing. And also we have a partner at USIM. They work on also with the creative culture. So we are actually like 3 of the university collaborate together to build up this consortium. And there's a grant that we have received from KPT of that, and the grant is actually for the benefits of the creative industry, and we are looking on how to actually to improve the creative in the existing creative industry. And besides that, I collaborate also with a research grant from Department of Faculty Medicine, University Kebangsaan Malaysia, which is public health, and this is related to the mobile learning, student-generated content. So over here, we try to promote awareness for health literacy using mobile devices to the communities. And besides that, I also won some awards, few awards, I mean not many, a few awards in high-techs and also other local competitions. Okay, this is the table of contents. Okay, basically you can see from this table of the contents, because once you say you are writing an article or journal article, sorry, not journal article, because this is actually writing a newspaper article, yeah, because this is not like you write your own journal where you have the construct of this journal article. But over here in the news article, you have also it's some sort of like guidelines, or it's framework. Yeah. So over here, first of all, I will introduce you on what is journalism. Because it's related with the area of writing article is related with journalism. So basically we need to know a bit of what is the background of journalism. So secondly, why you need to write news article. Then what is the reason you nak tulis artikel ni? Kenapa you nak tulis artikel? Mungkin you nak tulis artikel ni untuk menyampaikan message. Mungkin ada some idea that you want to propose. Maybe there is some issues you think need to be taken care of from the government. So there are lots of motivation why you want to write news article. And then I introduce you about the content code, because we are living in Malaysia. So we follow the content code, which is provided by MCMC, Multimedia Commission. Yeah? And then we have also the scope of writing, which is involving the process of writing, which has 3 main area, which is planning, writing, and proofing. And I will also talk about my experience from research to newspaper. And then I'll talk also a bit on impact for society, and maybe there is a short activities, and then we have Q&A and then references. All right. First of all, thank you all for attending this webinar session. I'm very grateful to have all of you here and to listen to my my session. Yeah, alhamdulillah. So basically today I'm going to talk on the tips on how to write the article journals. Yeah. So what is journalism? So journalism refers to the activity of collecting, compiling, and delivering fact-based or other related information to general public in an unbiased manner. Yeah. So far we see that there are lots of newspaper, yeah, you see around us, there's a lot of digital newspaper. Maybe this newspaper cater only for this particular section of people, components. These people, this this article maybe they only refer to certain party politics or certain individuals. So you need to know which journals. But normally the best practice and the practice that they have is to make it, you need to report it in an unbiased manner. Yeah? The term also describes the occupation more commonly known as journalist. Even though you are writing article and you are, let's say, just for not for fun, just for writing, and because you have interest in writing articles, so it seems that this is also like say a part-time journalist. So you need to know what are the ethics of the behavior or when you write the journals or the articles. Yeah, this occupation is responsible for gathering news from various sources like media, inside sources, and eyewitness. So you can use the evidence from where you want to write this article, whether you refer it from media sources, from website, or you can also refer from your own experience, your research. Yeah, so from your own eyewitness, you see this evidence, so you think that this need to be compiled and gathered, yeah, and then presenting it through public media outlet, either in print, online, on television or radio. There are many different journalistic fields, including investigative reporting, photojournalism, sports coverage, entertainment reporting, and watchdog journalism. We go that one by one, yeah. What are those? So this from online journalism to print media, journalism is divided into two different sections. Yeah? One is called hard news. Hard news includes politics and business. Hard news refers to breaking news and up to the minute news about serious, timely, or hard-hitting topics that are timely and urgent, usually based on facts and rigorous research. Political journalism, business journalism, and watchdog journalism are forms of hard news. So means that these are the current news. Let's say yesterday we have the sultans, right? They have the gathering at the Istana and with the Agong, and then they have decided a few command that actually the country need to follow in order to exit this pandemic. Yeah. So they one of the most crucial is the vaccine. So about the vaccine, you need to vaccinate at least 80% of the population. So means that is very crucial. And then these are the things that you will become the major headline and will be reported. So basically it will relate to the politics and also business. As you know, Malaysia, according to a research that in Malaysia, cultural research, the politics has the highest index compared to other parameter variables. So if you compare the variable of politics, the research has been done by this professor called Hofstede. Hofstede said that the politics in Malaysia is the highest variable in the world. So you can imagine how high is the politics variable in Malaysia that can influence the society. So anything have to do in Malaysia, you need to go to the politics, right? So so same as like bureaucracy and all the things. So like yesterday also, the Sultan also mentioned about you need to reduce the bureaucracy in order to move forward, right? Then you know that the bureaucracy also involved in disseminating the vaccine and so forth. So those are the hard news journalism. And in Malaysia, normally people like to talk about politics. I don't know, from warung, kedai kopi until somewhere, even though in the office, also you talk about politics and also business. Because politics and business will interchangeably relates with one another. When you have politic powers, then you have business. So that is what happened in Malaysia. I think because that has been a culture in Malaysia for such a long time, so so it can be, I think it can be prolonged. I mean, that is how in Malaysia is. I mean, you want to change the people attitude. I mean, this is what already been there. So we as academicians, maybe we can understand what has happened, and we try to maybe give a suggestion to improve the situation. Okay, so that is hard news. Yeah? And then there is also soft news. Soft news primarily focuses on entertainment. So anything relates with entertainment, like soft news journalism, focuses on lifestyle and entertainment and typically revolves around culture, art, and human interest events. So you know, right, during this pandemic, we are very difficult to go to the theater, cannot go to the, watch movies, cannot go to concert. And lately, there's a news come up that's saying that, okay, we are going to provide the Sarawak culture event, right, via digital platform. So that is a new movement, and they report it as new news in the soft news. It's called it soft news because it relates to the uh, entertainment, and this is actually relates also with the creative industry. So it involves also sports, entertainment, and also celebrity coverage. Yeah, because you see, if you see from the newspaper, you see there's a part, a section is just for the artists, right? So if you compare, even though you read from the online news, let's say I read Berita Harian online news, I compare my article and also the article of the artist at the same time, even though the artist is talking about Joya, and then the one is talking about me, my articles talking about some issues. I saw that the article that talking about Joya is more higher citation than mine. So I said, wow. So that is how, when the celebrity coverage, people will look at celebrity as somebody that they refer. I don't know, refer maybe the lifestyle, maybe they have something interesting to talk about, right? So they also can be they influence the people so much. So that's why you see that they like also to publish this kind of celebrity coverage. Okay, then is what is journalism career path? Okay, now we move to the journalism career path. Just now you understand there are two types of news. One is hard news and one is soft news. Okay, so basically the career path here is not. There are 9 types of journalism career paths. So the broadcast journalism is one of those. Broadcast journalism is an umbrella term that refers to any reporting that is broadcast on television, radio, or the internet. So let's say people asking you in the street, in the parliament, so that broadcast at the same time, right? Common types of broadcast journalism include day-to-day breaking news stories, entertainment, investigative, opinion, and sports journalism. So another one is business journalism. Business journalism aims to keep the reader up to date with the viewers of the trends and changes in the business world. It can cover many different topics, including stock trading, economic policy, business mergers, and technological advances. So this is actually about real estate, and then people will look into the opportunities of doing business, current business news, and so forth. Yeah? So you can see that this also a very interesting section to write. And then there's also entertainment journalism. Of course, people want to know what happened to their current artists, their favorite artists or their idols, right? And so they will write on the entertainment that include the lifestyle, the celebrities, the film, the music festivals, and award ceremonies. Yeah? This form of journalism also include profiling celebrities, actors, and musicians. So it gives you the biodata of this person, and also it gives you what is the hobby of this artist, and then what the artist do, what the celebrity, let's say, for example, like Niloufar, right? Even though he has been criticized severely for previous pandemics. So, however, she still got the rating for her business, right? Because people still buy from her. I mean, her products also got that from the promotion. Same is if you know Alif Aziz, right? Alif Aziz, Alif Sata, Alif Shukri, right? The Alif Shukri, even though he sang not like the not like the professional singer. However, he got the dislike. Yeah? Even though he got like and dislike, no matter what, he still got the YouTube will pay for him. So from the writing about this artist, they still got promotion of their work, even though bad or good. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So next is the investigative journalism. Investigative is the goals of the reporter for a particular topic of injustice. Yeah? The biggest investigative stories stir public debate to inform the politics and shape the history, like you investigate what reporting on the Watergate scandal. So maybe let's say now the investigative journalism, they will investigate, let's say, the 1NDB, all those, right? So those are the investigative. They want to know what happened to the money and who are involving, and so it's revolved around the area of this investigation. Yeah. So there's another one part of journalism, which is opinion journalism. Opinion journalism is a field that shows an opinion rather than solely reporting news on data or event. So this is pieces center on a particular subject, which the journalist discusses either briefly or at length before providing their opinion on the matter. For example, the advice column of ads, reviews, and letters from the editor of all under the umbrella of opinion journalism. So it's based on your perspective, and about that you will write on the opinion journalism. Another one is the photojournalism. If you see this photo, this is based on the evidence. Right, so any photo that gives the evidence, let's say the Seattle protest site was cleared by police earlier this month. So from here, you, rather than using the words to tell the story, the picture, the photo can tell you the story. So it can give you, oh, what happened here? That whether it's a building, a melting glacier, a group of people in war zone, for example, in Palestine, right? Previously, you saw that lots of damages, and even though it's keep on coming currently, right? The bombing. So those photos can, a picture can speak 1,000 words. Yeah? So photojournalism shoots can either be candid, heat of the moment reporting, or can occur under calmer circumstances, where the journalist documents action like daily life or environmental changes. Okay, that's another one which is very interesting. This is the political journalism. If you see from the, or you read the Berita Harian, every day the coverage will speak about politics, right? As I mentioned before, Malaysia, the highest variable for the culture is politics. So as you know, when the politics get very interesting, they will keep on the leadership on what happened in the particular area, whether the local government, national government, or international policy. So anything that relates with politics will interest our country. So if you write something about politics, for sure, you have chances to be published. And this is another one who are very interested in sports. If you want to write about sports, you cover sports related topics, including coverage of games and discussion of players and strategy, and profiles that spotlight specific players, coaches, or teams. So maybe like TMJ, right? TMJ has its own team. So maybe people want to report on their performance and so forth. So they will give a review or speak about their team. Okay. So watchdog journalism, this is another type of journalism. Watchdog journalism aims to protect society from illegal activities, corruption, especially within their governments or economic structures. Watchdog journalists monitor the actions of particular organizations, from governments to political campaigns to large corporations, to ensure that illegal activities are not occurring. If they discover corruption, watchdog journalists will report the findings immediately to hold the organization responsible. So this is like okay, we have the, now we know you have netizen, right? Netizen will always report. So okay, so let's say previously there are cluster Ariffin from the heaven, right? They say cluster kayangan. So the cluster kayangan actually the people, when they saw something like that, they will report to the net. I mean, the netizen, you know, then this will cause commotion, and people will investigate until finally they will get punishment, penalized or something, that because, you know, because of this watchdog journalism matters. So you can know that this watchdog also reported of the, let's say, the corruption. For example, a lot of cases in corruptions in Asian country, not only Malaysia, yeah, because corruption is revolving in Asian country more than the other countries, so including Malaysia. So they report about corruptions, or they can report also on the illegal activities. For example, the latest one is the balak, the loggers at Tasik Chini. I don't know, they might cut the trees, the wood, and also they also digging the fields around Tasik Chini that cause this area to get contaminated and not like before. So it's polluted the environment. You know, there's no conscience and there's no compassion and there's no empathy so whatever. So that has caused this matter of, you know, illegal activities. So you report it. So this is called watchdog journalism, right? So I even don't know what happened in Tasik Chini until they report it, right? So coming to the next section, that is about nine types of journalism what they can write. Yeah, so you can choose one of those if you want to write the articles. Yeah, the themes. Yeah, I mean the themes that you can write based on the journalist career. Okay, why write news article? Okay, writing a news article is different from writing other articles, pieces, because news article present information in a specific manner. Yeah, it is important to be able to convey all the relevant information in a limited word count and give the facts to your target audience concisely. So means that when you write articles, you need to, let's say, to ensure how many words that you write for your article. So at the end of your article, you must state how many words, let's say 600 words, 700 words, you need to put over there so that the editor will know that this is how much that you want to have you written, yeah, the words. And also knowing that how to write a news article can help if you develop a career in journalism, even though you have bulletin at your department. So you can also helps you to help in the career of writing skills. Your writing skill help you to convey the information clearly and concisely, because you have so many ideas, right? You want to write everything. So when you want to write everything, you need to focus on the main point, not just writing all the points, but you didn't return back to the main points. Yeah, so you need actually have to develop your skills and also your writing clearly and concisely when you're writing the news article. So the scope, what is the scope here? The scope here depends on you, what you want to try to choose in the scope, yeah? So the scope over here, you can see, for example, love and technology. Okay, love and technology, maybe you can relate something, your opinion on how technology and love can be combined, okay? So also in the scope, you can refer on the current challenges and the issues of these particular technologies. If you are involving in, let's say, software development, or you involving in the area of managing people, you can see, or managing health issues, you can see what is the current challenges and issues, and you need to focus on those challenges and issues. And another example is on the target group. To who you target this article for? Are they for the B40? Are they for, you want to target to elderly, or you want to target to politician? You need to know who are the target of this particular article for. Yeah. So current challenges is like, if you write a proposal, right? It's like your problem statement, right? You need to know what is the current challenges, what is the issues, and the target group is like your scope. Yeah. Who you want to target these articles for? Next, what is the implications? The implications of your these issues. What can happen? I mean, what if these issues can implies to this target group if it's not solved, right? If the problems you keep on and you didn't try to solve the problem, what is going to happen to these issues? So it will imply maybe a very bad situation. They will lose income, for example, and they have deteriorate health rate, for example. So those are like the implications that you can focus on the scope when you write, yeah? And the cross-discipline. Cross-disciplines means that you might be can match medicine with technology. Maybe like medicine, you know, you have computers and you might be having a mobile phone and you want to match it with technology, let's say mobile health. So on how technology can help with wisdom, health. So you combine two different areas, the technology and also the health. And you can also combine other different section like cross-discipline. Okay? So these are, like say, these are the scopes that you can actually highlight or you need to understand when you write an article. Now we go to the content code. Okay, this content code is content types to avoid in Malaysia, and I adapted it from the content codes SKMM guideline, which is MCMC. It's telling you these are the amongst the content type to avoid, like indecent, which is immoral, offensive, all those you cannot write. Obscene also cannot write. Violence also you cannot write. Menacing also you cannot write. Menacing is like hate propaganda, threaten national security, and so disturbance, bad language, also crude language, also you cannot write in Malaysia. False items, false item content should not contain false materials. It's like, you know, if you want to write something, then you are having it's not ethically correct items. You, let's say, it's like, let's say, you are doing, you write an article which is not true. I mean, this is not true. You just, for the sake of you writing it, just because you have some agenda, and then you falsify the content, right? So it's, it will fall under false item. So normally it's like false news. Let's say you receive a news, let's say, they say, oh, COVID, like previously, they said COVID patients has increased to a certain amount. And suddenly it keep on increasing above 10K. I think maybe you also have received that, those kind of poster or what, right? Maybe those are like the fake news. And then you need to refer this fake news to the particular bodies that you can refer to, like MKN, Majlis Keselamatan Negara. You can also refer to now like KKM, Kementerian Kesihatan, and also you can refer to I think MCMC has provided this website called Sebenarnya, and then you can refer from there. And I also refer to, let's say, the news from the Berita, let's say RTM or Astro Awani. They can highlight those false content. Okay, so you don't write on the false item. Maybe you refer to the article, and then suddenly you are quoting the false item. So it's not right. Yeah, it's not correct. It's not ethically correct. In Malaysia, unsafe for children, content should not have violence or dangerous animated, to be limited, neglecting family values. Okay, so this also not recommended. So these are the content types to avoid. In all these need to be taking consideration when you write the article. So now we are planning, all right? The planning, then the step one in researching your topic. When you research your topic, first of all, you want to write something, right? You have an idea, okay? Let's say, like me, or previously, when I research my topic, I saw from the media also, okay, about community. So when I read, I saw the media on the community, I want to search who was involving here. Okay, who are the particular communities that involved? What has happened to the community? Where did it happen? All right, why did it happen? Why this problem happened? Right, this is just like your research topic also, right? When did it happen? How did it happen? So these are all the research that might relate to your articles, right? So you can think about the WH question when you research your topic. And I think you, with this WH question, you can actually has more ideas on how to write your journal article. All right. Step one, research your topic. To begin writing a news article, you need to research the topic you will be writing about extensively. In order to have a credible, well-written, well-structured article, you have to know the topic well. If you ever written a research paper, you understand the work that goes into learning about your topic. The first phase of writing a news article or editorial is pretty similar. Yeah, so you need to go and research your articles first. Yeah. Then this is also coming back to the WH questions that I mentioned just now, right? So let's say if you are talking about vaccination challenges, so you need to say who was involved in this vaccination program, and then the ministry or the community, what has happened. Well, maybe you can comment very slow progress in transferring and logistic of the vaccination. So you know what has happened. Where did it happen? Did it happen where? So you need to know, let's say the vaccination program, where did it happen? Maybe it happened everywhere, right? It doesn't happen only in one area, it happened everywhere. So why did it happen? So you need to also ask question, why this problem happened? Is it because the very difficult to get vaccine to be to be imported to Malaysia? So maybe that this kind of why did it happen? Maybe there's a negotiation between the Malaysia country and also other countries in securing the vaccine, because it's not easy to secure the vaccine, yeah. And then they also need to wait for the queues, and there are lots of other things that we might not know what has happened. So you need to ask you the question, why did it happen? And when did it happen? It happened until now. Okay, so it happened until now. Maybe you can state that in your article. How did it happen? So you can say, okay, the process has happened. The people has registered to mySejahtera. Maybe they say, okay, why so slow? There's nothing what progress, and there's nothing feedback. So that those are the things, you know, that you can actually make an idea on how to write an articles and the reality of vaccination. Okay, so for example, these are the things, the idea, only idea. I just gave an idea only. Maybe my idea is not that right. Maybe your idea is better. So who knows, right? You can write a better article. So you can. These are just a guideline. So you can refer to the WH questions. Yeah. So second step, compile all your facts. Compile your facts. So you need to compile, okay, what is the most important in your facts that you have the idea just now? Which one is the most important most important idea? Which one is the less important idea? And which one is unimportant ideas? This is, let's say you do an interview. So you know from the interview, which is the most important, which is the less important, which is unimportant. So you yourself need to prioritize your facts. Once you can clearly answer the 5 W's, jot down all lists of all pertinent facts and information that needs to be included in the article. Organize your facts into 3 groups, right? Those that need to be included in the articles, those that are interesting but not vital, less important, those that are related but not important to the purpose of the article. So, so these are the things or the 3 groups of articles that you can regroup when you start to write the article. This fact list will help you prevent leaving out any important issues about the topic and story, and will also help you to write a clean, succinct article. Step 2, compile all the facts. Be as specific as possible when writing down all these facts. You can always trim down unnecessary information later, but it's easier to cut down than it is to have to beef up an article, right? So it means like this: if you write a lot, then it's easier for you to edit it and reduce your article rather than you have written a very small portion of words, so that very difficult for you to edit the words. Yeah, it's okay at this point. You have to have holes in your information. If you don't have a pertinent fact, write down the question and highlight it so you won't forget to find it out. So while you're sketching, sketching means you can write in your Word document. You can use soft copy. If you are comfortable soft copy, you start with soft copy, or else you can write on the papers. Yeah, and if it seems that the questions you have questions, you need to write down over there so you can refer and research to the questions later. Now that you have your facts, if your editor has not already assigned the type of article, decide what kind of article you are writing. Ask yourself whether this is an opinion article, an unbiased and straightforward relaying information, or something in between. So you need to check whether which category it will falls to your article, whether it's your own opinion, whether it's a neutral article, or whether it's something straightforward that you want to reporting, or somewhere something between. So this can also be the type of article you want to write. Page, for the planning step, step 3, create an article outline. So as you know, when you write the article, you have the introduction. The introduction is always the hook. Hook means that must have been catchy, right? You want to invite someone to read your article. If you want to invite them, the first paragraph must be, or the first introduction must be a very catchy, so that the reader will keep on reading your article. So it like a hook. Okay, so paragraph 1, you can say what does it mean, what you want to try to write, yeah? And then paragraph 2 and 3, for example, like this case is like a police case. Surgeon on this one is quotes and thoughts, and then you have paragraph 4, initiative taken, and then paragraph 5, these are like the story, you know, you tell what each paragraph, what stories you want to tell, right? What facts you want to mention at each paragraph, right? And paragraph 9 and 10, conclusion, and maybe something that relates with it. So this is like a you know, the structure, the architecture of the article. You have introduction, you have conclusions, and in between you have the points, including describing, including also what are the process, or also including what are the statistics that you want to include in your article. Okay. Step 3, create an article outline. Your outline and subsequently your article should be structured like an inverted triangle. The inverted triangle allows you to build your story so that the most important is at the top. So whatever you highlight just now must be mentioned. The most significant matter that you want to highlight must be on the first introduction. If you ever heard them burying the lead, that is in the reference to the structure of your article. The lead is the first sentence of the article. The one you lead with, not burying the lead, simply means that you should not make your readers read several paragraphs before they get to the point of your article. So it's like you want to sell yourself, right? The power of storytelling is like, so you want to sell yourself. Okay, so the first paragraph, the introduction must be a hook. It's like a punchline for the reader to read, right? So they don't need to skim to third and fourth paragraph and then say, oh, this is what you want to write, right? So you must tell it at the first paragraph, so they are clearer on what you want to convey or to tell them from the article. Yeah. Okay, step 3, create an article outline. Whatever forum you are writing, for it to be a print or web, a lot of readers don't make it to the end of the article. When writing a news article, you should focus on giving your readers what they want as soon as possible. Write about the fold. Above the fold comes from newspaper where there's a crease because the pages get folded in half. If you look at the newspaper, at all the top stories are placed above the fold. Okay, so the same goes for writing online. The virtual fold is the bottom of your screen before you have to scroll down. Put the best information at the top to engage your readers and encourage them to keep on reading. So that's why you need to put the most important significance point at the beginning of your article. Step 4. When you plan, we still at the planning stage here. Step 4, know your audience. When you know your audience, you need to know whether they are either well educated or whether they are makcik kia. So you need to differentiate with them, yeah? Or whether they are, or elderly, yeah? Right? So you need to know whether they are children. So you need to, are they OKU? So you need to know your audience, yeah? And then general, okay, so you need to know in general whether who are they, yeah? Know your audience, specialize on this topic, yeah? whether what are the specialized topic that relates to this audience, and what do you think about their expectation to your topics, yeah? And then there is also interest. What are their interests to your topics? And what are their reading levels to the topics? So this is, you need to know who is your audience. In order to write a great news, you need to know exactly who you are writing for. Your audience will dictate the voice and tone of your article and help you to know what you should include. Ask yourself the 5 W's again, but this time in relation to your audience, right? Just now you write 5 W's in earlier stage, right? Where you need to know the structure of the articles. Now you need to know the 5 W's again, but this time relates to your audience. So questions like, what is the average age you are writing for? Where is the audience, local or national? Why is this audience reading your article? And what does your audience want out of your article? We inform you on how to write. Once you know who you are writing for, you can format an outline that will get the best information to the right audience as quickly as possible. So basically, you need to research on your group, on your you want to write the article for. Okay, still at the planning stage, step 5, know your angle. Know your angles mean how you know your own point, yeah, your view. So office outreach program, how it shatters stereotypes. Find an angle. Why is this article unique to you? What is your voice of this article? These questions will help you to make your news article unique and something that only you could write. So basically, it's from your own perspective. Why does it you need to tell us about this news? Why you need to tell people about this news? Why does it something special about this news, right? So if you know that, you need to find the angle. Yeah? Even if you are covering a popular story or topic that others are writing about, look for an angle that will make this one yours, right? So means like maybe people are talking about you know, about e-commerce, e-commerce for SME. So they are already writing about e-commerce. Maybe they write about that in the business perspective. Maybe you can write about something from your own perspective, maybe from the usability point of perspective of the application. Maybe you can write about something on the system part or the technical part of the system. Maybe you can write something in your point of view from the security part of the system. So there are lots of area where you can zoom your lenses according to your perspective to write this particular topic, even though it has been mentioned before. Maybe you write it into different perspective, different angle, different zoom lens. Yeah? You have your own zoom lens to this particular topic. Then you start writing on your article. Do you have a personal experience that relates to your topic? Maybe you know someone who is an expert that you can interview. Okay, interviewing the people is an advantage because when you interview people, you have more in-depth point perspective, and it supports your article much more stronger. Yeah? It's like you do, let's say you do your research, right? Like me, when I did my research, I interviewed people a lot, and I also did a focus group discussion a lot as well. So when I do that, I have lots of data. That's what I mean. Data that of information and understanding that I know from their perspective. So if you interview people, it will support your article, yeah, because you have the data and it support your writing your articles. But it's not compulsory, but it's good if you can interview people. So this they recommend step 6 in planning: interview people, right? You know, from their perspective on what is the current situation and how they deal with the current situations, right? So they will tell you more, and what are their opinion and what are their hopes for these issues to be solved. So that is only can happen if you interview the particular people, yeah, or the person. So when you interview people, when writing news article, interviewing people, and getting a first-hand source on your topic can be invaluable. And while reaching out to people and asking for an interview may seem daunting, it can greatly affect the credibility and authority of your article, because it's not easy, to get people to be interviewed, because people are always busy. They don't have time to be interviewed. Sometimes they are not interested with your idea. So right, so it's no point if you want to interview people if they cannot commit for the interview session, right? So it's very difficult, and it can be a great challenge for the interviewer. Yeah. So people usually like to talk about personal experiences, especially it will be featured somewhere like your news article. Reach out through phone call, email, or even social media and ask someone if you can interview them. So you can call someone that you want to interview. You can either email them or you can contact them if they are inside your LinkedIn. If they respond to you, they want to be interviewed, so you can set an appointment and go to interview this person, or you can set to interview via online, because now we can interview using a platform like this Zoom and Google Meet and so forth. Yeah. So when you do interview people, you need to follow a few rules. First, identify yourself as a reporter. As a reporter, maybe you as a researcher. Keep an open mind, yeah, because you don't want to be biased when you want to interview. Stay objective, you still stick to what you want to interview. While you are encouraged to ask questions and listen to anecdotes, you are not there to judge. So you cannot judge when you interview, yeah? Unbiased. Bias, not to be biased. Record and write down important information from the interview and be transparent with what you are doing and what you are doing this interview and why you are doing this interview. Yeah. So you need still, even though you don't like the idea that they presenting, so you just keep on recording because that is their perspective. And then from there you can refer back to what you have recorded from the previous interview. Okay, now we have already gone from the first major step in writing in article, which is planning. Now the next section in article is to write. After you plan, you need to write. Yeah. So you need to write. You need to start with a lead sentence. So like this one, they refer to this commotion of the police officers and the teenagers at wild house parties. Yeah. In Getting Busted, which is precisely the image of what Sergeant Karen Okino wants to change. So they start with a very not interesting, it's something that will take your interest to read the article. That's when you start with a lead, begin with a strong leading sentence. This article begins with a leading sentence that is meant to grab readers' attention and interest them. This one of the most important parts of the piece. So start with the good stuff when writing a news article. Remember the inverted triangle. Your lead should be one sentence and should simply but completely state the topic of the articles. Remember when you had to write essay for school, your lead is like your thesis statement. Did your readers know what your news article is about, why it's important, what the rest of the article it will contain? So as I mentioned just now, when you write the first paragraph, it must be interesting, so that they can further continue reading your article. And over there in the first paragraph, you need to tell what are you going to write. Maybe you can say the major point that you want to write inside the article. So that is beginning at the paragraph, the first paragraph, yeah. And if you read this one, this also relate with essay, it also relate with writing thesis. So step 2, give all the important details. So these are the details of the articles of what about just now, the commotion, the police officer and the wild parties. And they say that, okay, the certain dates then is organizing daily office hour, officially known as office hour, that places a deserted sergeant at the high school for an hour each day in an effort to improve relations between teens and the police in town. Okay, right. Step 2, give all the information details. give all the important details. The next important step to writing news articles is including all the relevant facts and details that relate to your lead statement. Include the basic of what happened, where and when it took place, who is involved, and what is newsworthy. Right, so you need to give details on why that your article is worthy. These details are important because they are the focal point of the article that fully informs the reader. If you are writing an opinion piece, this is where you will state what your opinion is as well, right? So, for example, previously I saw that in Rencana, Berita Harian, they write about the Palestinian. So one of the lecturers say, okay, what Dayus about this if you're not aware about these Palestine issues and take action and something, right? So those are like his very strong opinion when he state that, yeah. Right. Step 3, follow up the main facts with additional information. This initiative comes after, so this is a paragraph excerpt. It say that after the main paragraph since now, they follow with other facts, right? So we say that the infractions issues to use and teens in town has more than doubled over the last 5 years. So it's just add more informations to the main facts just now. Yeah? Okay, step 3, when you write, follow up the main facts with additional information. Follow up main facts with, after you listed all the primary facts in your news article, including any additional information that might help the reader learn more, such as contact information, additional facts about topics or people involved, or quotes from interviews. This additional information helps round out the article and can help you transition to new points as you move along. If you have an opinion, this is where you will identify the opposing views and the people who hold them. A good news article will outline facts and information. A great news article will allow readers to engage on emotional level. Yeah? Like just now, you say, okay, Dayus this country or whatever, so suddenly it get you engaged emotional level, yeah? Because the word they use is very strong. To engage your readers, you should provide enough information that anyone reading your news article can make an informed opinion, even if it contrasts with yours. Yeah? So means that even though people that reading your article, right, they have contrast idea with you, it doesn't matter. You just write that because you are writing the facts, you know. You want to inform your opinion. This also applies to a news article where you, the author, don't state your opinion, but present it as unbiased piece of information. Your reader should still be able to learn enough about your topic to form an opinion. Okay, finally, you need to conclude your article, right? After you have write the introduction, then you have write the facts, and then you write the additional informations, and finally, you need to conclude your article. Congratulate your readers for sticking with you to the end by giving the reader something to take away, like potential solutions to problem or challenges expressed in your article. So maybe when you're writing that one, right, you express your challenges. Like me, I writing my experience. I writing about communities, right? I written about the community challenges, and then I list them out all the points of the challenges. At the end, I also propose the solution, but it's not like you're proposing like in your proposal, you know, you're doing your research thesis, because that one is very large, right? This one is only a point and idea only. Then you reformulate it, right? So you congratulate the readers by giving them something like this. You give them the solution, possible solution for the problem. Yeah. Make sure your news article is complete and finished by giving it a good concluding sentence. This is often a restatement of the leading statement, thesis, or a statement indicating potential future development relating to the article topic. So maybe there's implication, maybe there's a future job need to be done. So you need to state that. Yeah. Read other news articles for ideas on how to best accomplish this, or watch a news station or shows. Okay, so for example, you can to keep up with the current news, because because we have television, right? You need to refer, let's say, RTM during what are the news that they come up with, the Astro Awani, what the news they come up with, uh, the other BBC News, what they come out with, right? So those are the news, or the like Australia, they have ABC News. So these are the things that you can refer to when you writing the article, right? So see, you get the idea also on how they present the news. When they present the news, they will say, beginning with the statement, right? Very strong statement. Then they describe the points inside the news, and then they conclude the news, right? So that is how actually from there you get the idea on how, let's say, what verbally they said over there. You can read, you can write that for your article, yeah. Okay, this is the third component of articles, writing articles, is proofing. Step one, check facts before publishing. It's important to check the facts. Means you need to know from which source, at least you know the sources that you written, you read, you have read, and you also write. You need to write, right? So you check the facts before you publish. Whether the facts, as I mentioned just now, is a false facts, or is it a reliable facts? Okay, for me, if I want to check for the facts, I will go for Berita Harian online, or I will go to Astro Awadi, because I know that these two are giving the major two major media, right? And the information is mostly, the information can be trusted from there, right? So I use Berita Harian and also Astro Awani. So check the facts before the publishing. Whether you are writing a news article professionally or for school assignment, your article isn't complete until you have checked all your facts. Having incorrect facts will immediately discredit your article and could hinder you as a writer. So if you give misinformation, so it's very low chance for you to get published. So you need to give a good, good facts, and the facts must be correct facts. Be sure to double check all the facts in your news article before you submit it, including name, dates, and contact information or addresses. Writing accurately is one of the best ways to establish yourself as a competent news article writer. Step 2, in proofing. Ensure you have followed your outline and have been consistent with style. Okay, this is also like you writing a journal, right? If you use some form of terminology, you need to use the terminology all inside your article consistently, right? You mustn't change your term. Let's say I use mobile learning, right? For example, I must make sure that I use mobile learning from the beginning until the end of my article. It's say mobile learning, not mlearn or mlearning or something else. So you need to check the the style of the article. So this is the outline, right? Just now, you need to know, okay, this is an introduction, this is a conclusion, this is the points that they gave inside this article, including some few facts, statistics. Yeah, so over here you see this they use the terminology, the same terminology, office hours. So they also over here office hours. So these are some examples that you can see from here, right? Office hours. Right. So step 2, ensure you have followed your outline and have been consistent with style. So means that there are several styles of news article and journalism, from objective uh, from reporting to a style of journalism where the reporter describes the events in a subjective manner, usually through a first-person narrative. If your news articles is meant to convey the direct facts, not the opinion of the writer, ensure you have kept your writing unbiased and objective. Avoid any language that is overly positive, negative, or statements that could be construed as support or criticism. So means when you are writing journal articles, you not to be overly positive, you cannot be also overly negative, or you cannot be harshly criticized. So it cannot be inside when you are writing an article, because you need to be as neutral as possible, depend on what are you writing. Yeah? If your article is meant to be more in the style of interpretative journalism, then check to make sure that you have given deep enough explanation of the larger story and offered multiple viewpoints throughout. So there are different styles of journalism. Some are like narration, some are like unbiased, some are also interpretative. Yeah? And the proofing step 3, follow up the main facts with additional information. So you don't need to repeat the same title again at the next paragraph. So if you're repeating the same, because you have already has the main facts. Okay, step 3, follow up the main facts with additional information. You can follow the AP style for formatting and citing resources. Journalists and therefore news article follow the AP style for the sources citation in most cases. The AP style book is a journalist textbook and should be consulted for proper formatting. So in US, United States, they use this AP style. When quoting someone, write down exactly what was said inside quotation and immediately cite the reference with the person proper title. Formal title should be capitalized and appear before the person name. So you need to know, let's say Dato or what, you need to spell it out, your Dato yang berbahagia atau Duli yang maha mulia. So those need to be according to the capital and what are the correct name need to be spelled out. Yeah? Always write out numbers 1 through 9, but use numeral for numbers 10 and up. So means that 1 through 9, you can write them out, and above 10, they recommend you can write the numeral number. When writing a news article, be sure to only include one space after a period, not two space. So after a period, one space only. Yeah? Have your editor read your article. So before you submit your article, have someone, maybe your friends, maybe your colleagues, to see your article, logic or not. You have written something, and then you see, okay, my friend, can you write? I say, Dr. Haziq, can you please read my article? Maybe Dr. Haziq is my co-author, right? So so they can see if there is something that can be improved, so they will improve their articles, right? So it's basically have somebody else to read your articles before you submit your articles. Even if you have gone through the story several times and think that everything is squared away, you should let another pair of eyes take a look at it. In addition to find any spelling or grammatical errors, your editor will be able to help you trim down certain sections and simplify word sentences, right? Maybe you don't understand, it seems that the word sentence you write is a correct one, but it's not right. Maybe it sounds very weird. Yeah. So this person can detect that, and then actually they can improve your writing style. You shouldn't submit any news article for publication without first letting someone take a look at it. An extra pair of eyes can double check your facts and the information to ensure that what you have written is accurate. If you are writing a news article for school or your own personal website, then have a friend take a look at it and give you notes. Sometimes you may get notes that you want to defend or don't agree with. But this should be listened to. Remember, with so many news articles getting published every minute, you need to ensure that your widest possible audience can easily digest the information you have provided. Okay, so basically go to the next section just now, okay, we have understand there are 3 stages, right, in the writing the journal, where you need to plan, you need to write, and then you need to proofread, right? So those are the steps that I explained previously. Now I just go through what are the news that I have written to Berita Harian before. In Berita Harian, there are several sections, several sections in Berita Harian where normally the audience will send their news. So one of those important is one of the sections called commentar. Commentar is if you want to have your perspective regarding particular matters or subjects or topics. So this is falls under commentar section. Pembelajaran secara mudah alih, rapatkan jurang digital. So over here I'm telling about how mobile learning can close the digital gap. Yeah. So this is a commentar. So I comment. This is like my. Actually, this is from my research. I have actually some sort of like simplify it in a much more simpler form and words, so that the local audience can understand it in Bahasa Malaysia. So means that why I choose Berita Harian to send my article, because I've seen that in Berita Harian, those kind of news, they are more on towards political news. One, they are more towards political news. Second is that they don't have something like information regarding the current technology. I saw that there lack of those information. So I want to give my perspective as an academic. So and thirdly, because mostly the local people, they can understand better in Bahasa Malaysia. So that's why I choose Berita Harian to write my articles. Right? Okay, so this the commentar is one section. Another one, normally on commentar, I will the words I use here around 600 to 700 only. Yeah, 600 words. For rencana is more larger. I mean, it cover the whole, let's say, for example, ecosystem, the whole system, or the whole research. So I will write for rencana. So this rencana has been published last year. It's regarding to develop the software that is based on the cultural of the local culture. So this is also about my research. So I translate it, or I interpreted it as rencana, and I simplify it so that the people or the audience that know Bahasa Malaysia can read my article and understand my article. So that is in the rencana section. So this is actually my research, also a part of my PhD research. So pembelajaran pintar melonjak aktiviti pelajar. Okay, this is also another part of the rencana. As you can see, this is like I'm talking about smart learning, experiential learning, so they can generate students more actively involved in this type of learning, right? So this is also under commentar. Okay. Okay, bangunkan perisian berasaskan budaya tempatan. Okay, this is just now. It's a part of my research, previous research on the local culture, the guidelines, design guideline principle that I've written, and I relate it with the current issues. I relate it with usability. I relate it with pandemic COVID, I relate it with MIMOS, I relate it with MSTB and SKMM. Ya. Pembelajaran secara mudah alih rapatkan jurang digital. During pandemic COVID, actually we are all using mobile device. I think most of us use mobile device to communicate, to study at home, and also to communicate with others, and also to do PDPR, they call it house learning. Okay, so this is also regarding the smart learning, like Okay, so when this is the impact on the society. Okay, I noticed when I written about Perkasa Pusat Internet Desa, then on the 21st of September, and on the September 28, 2020, I saw there's a news come out from Jabatan Penerangan Malaysia, 133 Pusat Internet Komuniti Sabah sedia dimanfaat. So means right, before this I didn't saw, or I didn't, maybe I'm not aware, but I didn't see any kind of news about this, right? So when you written something, I say, okay, you need to empower you need to empower the community internet, internet at the rural areas, because they have this internet rural areas, but this is not fully utilized. This is what my article about. So when I write this article on the 21st September, and Alhamdulillah, I saw that there's something that they written about, that they want to upgrade this facility of the internet in Sabah. I think that's somehow indirectly my article can impact the society while I write on this internet desa, and you need to empower the internet desa for the convenience of the local communities to make fully use of it, benefits from this community pusat internet desa. So that Jabatan Penerangan Malaysia have taken action. I mean, they want to upgrade the internet community, which is good. Okay, this is muka 10. Okay, muka 10 is I think this muka 10 actually is a very important page in this Berita Harian, right? So if you see muka 10, we start with one big issues in the nation. Then you have komentar. Komentar is in the next section, where you have the comments and all those, right? And then at another part is the rencana. Rencana also is a very important part. So when I got this first published in muka 10, this is actually on pemerkasaan komuniti mampu atasi kesan pandemik. So this is actually some sort of like the anchor of the page during that day. So when I do this article, at first I just listened to the media from my mobile phone. I saw the news about, okay, they have lancarkan satu program pemerkasaan community. So okay, suddenly the ideas come to my mind. Okay, all right, there's a problem over there, and then this is how maybe you can, maybe can solve this problem, and maybe you can improve the situations. So Alhamdulillah, they accept the article and publish it at muka 10. And this come out by accident, because why I say by accident? Because if I didn't listen to the media or the news, I didn't know that they have lancarkan pemerkasaan community. If they when I listen to the news, then suddenly the idea come out and I start to write. Okay, so the response is almost immediate. So when the response almost immediate, so then Alhamdulillah, this I sent this article and it got published afterwards. So this over here, I note the program, because it's a nation program, program pemerkasaan community. So that is very important. Even though in the pandemic COVID, the community play an important role. You need to have volunteers to assist the society to get vaccinated, and you need to have the empower the community to actually to know that the place that they stay is safe, right? And they must know who are inside their area. So it's some sort of like let's say a combination, integration of collaboration between all parties, including the government, NGOs, the society, and the people living in the communities, right? So so these are about my articles, and I describe first the challenges in the communities, and then I give I did propose some solution, including help desk, help desk or major bantuan, right? So they can refer to this help desk if they have problems or issues need to be solved urgently. So this is like a pusat rujukan bantuan komuniti awam, right? So this is my I propose this, my proposal for this article. So this is actually for the benefits of the society, inshallah. Okay, there's another interest of me. I like history so much. So when I write history, and I come from Malacca, so I have written this article about Masyur Sejarah Melaka guna teknologi terkini. So when I written this article, I come to the idea on how that I need to improve on the local history and the structure, and also creative industry. So it's also related with creative industry. Yeah? So when I write this article, I didn't know how influenced it is that the history of Malacca to Malaysia, because from doing the research that I know, okay, this is where actually they establish a lot of laws, including the maritime laws that has been used acceptably at the global international level, and also the hukum kanon and something that regarding the laws of Malaysia that are being used by the kings, right? By the sultan. They still have those values like hukum laut, and then they have this hukum kanon, hukum darat, and so undang-undang, that they still local types of law which they still use in the society. Maybe some of you aware, some of you not really know about that. But while doing this article, now I know, oh, okay, this is so significant. All right, this is so significant that, you know, with the help, assistance of the technology, I'm recommending on how actually the creative industry can be boosted through using IR 4.0 to improve the history knowledge or awareness, yeah, and also even to generate profits, right? So by using IR 4.0, I'm proposing the idea that you can actually try to tell the new generation on how the history of Malacca really looks like since the Sultan area, and also during the wars and all sorts of events, right? So I think it's very interesting area to get into for research using IR 4.0, because it can benefit the industry creative and also towards the nation, because it can affect also the new nation to understand better their history. If you notice, if I have an experience, I went to Singapore, they have this actually virtual performance and lots of performance over in the museum, museum in Singapore National Museum, about the Singapore history since the period of Sang Nila Utama. Okay, so I think those idea is very interesting, and Malaysia also can have its own and technology being used such a way that it can be appreciated by the future generations. All right. So this is my article, and it goes to Perspective Sastra. Oddly, it goes to Perspective Sastra, and Alhamdulillah, I think it falls under this category. Okay, this is another articles regarding how penjana kembali giatkan industri kreatif. So it relates to my research with Dr. PM TS Dr. Shamsul from UUM is regarding manfaat penjana kembali giatkan industri kreatif, where how you want to improve the digitalization of industry creative in order to generate possibly generates income for the creative industry community, because during pandemic COVID, the creative industry is so badly affected in Malaysia. Yeah, so they cannot perform, they cannot also sell the products, except those products that they can use digital platform and they can sell through the digital platform. So this is one of my idea that I put into this komentar berita harian. Okay. So another impact on the society, I say, why not you give free free service in the article, free service or free free service for data. So Alhamdulillah, they have some response. Maybe indirectly it can inform to give the government, can inform the government to give free internet to the students. Right. So others I involved with the they call me for Selamat Pagi Malaysia. I was talking about two topics. My first topic is about how AI can help with the COVID-19, and also I been called with an interview about health literacy. Selamat Pagi Malaysia 2 times, and then another time I call about I have been called to RTM for giving talks about creative industry, and also giving talk about PDPR, and also giving talk about the digital in Sabah. So activities, your time to shine. Think about a topic that interests you, draft down the structure or your ideas, write the draft of your first article, 50 minutes, maybe another 50 minutes you can present. Can you all do that? We still have time, right? So
we have a few minutes, Dr. Shamsul, before we open for Q&A.
Okay. Can we just like, let's say have 5 minutes, 5 minutes you all draft, maybe 5 minutes you present. Is it okay?
Maybe, yeah, we just call a few persons would like to pitch their ideas, probably.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Anyone here would like to try? Maybe you want to share what are the interesting articles that you are potentially would like to write before we open for Q&A.
Yeah, if you have idea, maybe you can write down what is your title, your maybe your points, and what is your conclusion. Maybe that just in a point form, then we see about it. Okay, yeah?
Ada cadangan daripada Yusuf Omar. Mungkin ini pun satu tajuk yang menarik juga, Dr. Shamsul. Include simple 2D games in mySejahtera. What do you think about that? Ada potential?
Yeah, basically to improve engagement according to Yusuf Omar. Do you think it's okay, Dr. Shamsul? Dr. Shamsul?
Any question you can ask?
Okay, Dr. Shamsul.
Yeah.
We have one participant. Just would like to ask your opinions about, is it interesting if we could include simple 2D games in the mySejahtera to improve the engagement? Maybe the sort of like articles for that?
You mean how to increase the engagement of mySejahtera, is it?
Exactly.
Yeah, that will be one of the interesting article. I mean, you can you can propose. I mean, how can it increase more engagement to the people or to the populations? Yeah, I think it can improve, because now you saw that lots of challenges, right? Like the elderly didn't know how to use it, and then there are issues of internet and so forth. Yeah,
Right.
interesting idea, Ken.
Okay, so basically, while we are waiting for someone to just pitch their interesting article to be discussed, maybe can we go for the Q&A, question and answer, Dr. Shamsul, while waiting for that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we have another one question from Siti Suhaila from University Malaysia Pahang. She asks you, how long should we wait for the article to be accepted or rejected, and how the procedure usually take part?
Okay, the procedure I will tell you after this. And however, for the article to be included, it is actually by chance, because sometimes even though you write an article and you say, okay, this might be a potential, but will not be accepted. Because I have experience before where I've written, let's say, 5 to 6 articles, and they only accept, let's say, 1 or 2 articles out of that, and there's no something that say, oh, they will publish your articles. They will publish your article based on the current issues, what are the insights that they want, because you know the let's say Berita Harian, they have their own specific purpose what they want to publish. So you can try, everybody can try to send the article over there. No worries, because they will still consider your articles. And if you got chance, it can be either published during the same week, or it can be published in few weeks after that, right? So if it take you too long, maybe there's no chance to publish the article, but you can try anyway. It's not to be worried. You can just try, and you know the writing article is like an exercise. You need to try. Maybe, who knows, you got published. So in publishing articles, you can publish maximum. You can, as I know, you can have 2 person. Yeah, so you can actually partner with someone else to publish the article. So you can even also publish to whoever that you think can co-write with you the articles, and maybe this person can be a second author for the article, right? So when you do like that, it's some sort of like collaboration.
All right. Okay. So it goes the same. Another participants, Nurhanisha Yusof from UUM. She also would like to know, basically, how many words for a newspaper article? Any minimums and maximums that we need to produce?
Right. So I say that on average lah. I mean, you know, on average, it should not be more or less something like that. Let's say for for the commentar just now, is something like 600 to 700 words. For rencana, it can be from 800 words. For muka 10 also around 800 to 900 words.
Okay. How about perspective?
Perspective, it looks the commentar is around 600 to 700 words. All right,
great. So, and then I think another question is much more related to that is from Chun Yin. All right, Dr. Chun Yin from MMU. So she asks you, all right, is it do we need to have opportunity or contact with the columnist in certain newspaper, or we just submit to a certain, what's the usual procedures for that?
Okay, I will tell you after this.
All right, great. And then based on your experience, how many attempts that you write the articles and is being accepted and rejected? Maybe you can share with us. That is another question.
Oh, that is a quantitative.
Exactly.
Actually, my PhD is mostly in qualitative, but however, I can try. How accepted? I think accepted around 65%.
65, all right. So that's about the answer to Dr. Murni from UIAM. All right. So you want to share anything else before we proceed to other question? I think we have numbers of questions here. They're quite interested to ask you. You want me to proceed with the question, or how is it?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So another question by Dr. Siti Rohmah from Monash University. So is it okay for us, I mean, for the newspaper writers, as a start, we write on the perspective of parents, and in terms of certain conditions, the parent facing, most probably about the pandemics or whatever else, and share the articles, write the articles for the newspaper article. Do you think it's okay? And how
Yeah,
is it?
that is okay as long as you keep the tone neutral.
I see. All right.
Yeah. As long as you keep the tone neutral and you give the idea on what are the current challenges, and maybe you can propose some possible solution for that matter.
I
Yeah, that
see.
will be
All right.
good. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So I think in the plan, I think you mentioned about interviewing people, right? So,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
there is one question from Azira, UUM. She asks you, what are the main skill or important skill that we need to employ when interviewing into individual for a story? Is there any do and don'ts that we need to start thinking of?
Wow.
Wow,
Oh,
that's
wow,
interesting question.
that's a big question.
Exactly, yeah.
I think Dr. Haziq can give a lecture on that, right? Dr.
Oh,
Haziq.
oh my God, that's another session probably. Yes, maybe you want to give a thought about it.
Okay, I give a thought about it.
All right.
So basically, when you ask the question, you must be neutral. You cannot
Right.
be biased. You need to keep your stand firm. You must be neutral. And also, when you ask the question, to get more answer, you need to to get this person be comfortable with you. First of all, you have, let's say, a breaking session, and then after that, when they tells you the story, you don't ask them a question like yes no answer. You need to tell them, can you please tell me about your experience? Can you please describe more about your experience on this? Can you tell me more about this? So they will tell you the story. Or else if you say, do you think it's good? Of course they say, yes. If it is good or bad, yes or no. So like that, the answer will not give you a correct perspective for what you want, right? So you need to get them engaged with you. You need to make them comfortable with you. And then when you ask them question, please make sure your question is not a question of yes or no answer. It must be, tells me, can you please tell me your experience? Can you please describe and elaborate more? So those are the types of question that you can possibly ask them, yeah?
All right. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Shamsul.
Thank you.
And can I proceed with one more question before you go on with your sharing? This question is, I think, similarly like what Salmi from UUM and also Dr. Mashita from U2M. They ask you about do we able to choose which section in newspaper that we want to do the writing? And do we need, are they giving any agreements, or you need to publish weekly or any certain dates, or how is it?
Oh, actually, publish Berita Harian, for example, Berita Harian is say that the newspaper is from the public to the public. So means that you are able freely to send them the article as you wish. So there's no things that no fix where your article will go to. Maybe your article is suitable for commenter. They will put it on commenter. Sometimes they put it under different section, maybe under education section. Sometimes if they say, let's say just now my sejarah, right? Sejarah Melaka. I thought firstly it will give it put into rencana, but they put it under sastra. So
I see. All right.
So we don't select for it. They will decide for us. So we don't know. Suddenly, oh, it's published. Even though I thought it's not published, a few weeks that they publish my articles.
So back to that, whether we are we going to be informed whether our articles will be published or not published? I think similarly like what Dr. Hanif asking.
No, they will not inform us.
I see. All right.
Yeah.
So we have to be alert by ourselves, is it?
Yeah, we just alert. Like me, I subscribe to the digital e-news, so I just check whether my article got published or not.
All right. So all the participants, if you have any question to Dr. Shamsul, maybe you can just post to our chat.
Right.
So Dr. Shamsul, we have two participants who like to start pitch their ideas. Right. The first one is from Nuraniza Lazim. Unfortunately, she didn't mention the affiliation. according to her, he would love to write about smart aging in Malaysia, right? Since Malaysia will be reaching 15% of elderly by 2030. So what's your suggestions to her maybe? What the things that she need to start?
Oh, okay. I think I have written some an similar article about this on penjagaan orang tua. I mean, taking care of the elderly. I'm also talking about the smart aging. Maybe you can see that in different perspective on the smart aging. Are you taking consideration on which area? Maybe the area, let's say, maybe you are looking into which angle of the smart aging. Are you talking about on how the government is preparing it technological wise, or you know, something like improving the quality of life? Maybe you can talk about it. I think it's not a restriction for you to write on the smart aging. I think they will love to hear something about smart aging as well. Yeah.
Okay. So that's the answer for Noraiza Muhammad Lazim from UiTM. So okay, this is another one. Zakia from MMU. So she would like to outline the articles about pandemic COVID-19, memperkasa wanita demi kelestarian keluarga. Wow.
Okay.
All right.
So okay.
So basically the introduction, she would love to talk about peranan wanita secara umum dan cabaran semasa pandemik. Bagaimana tanggungjawab wanita dalam yang terpaksa dilaksanakan serentak. So multitasking, I suppose. So dia akan isukan bagaimana peranan ibu, isteri, tugas guru dalam mendidik anak-anak, pendidikan, kesihatan mental, that's very good, kumpulan sokongan dan majikan. So what's your thought about it, Dr. Shamsul, and how she can just go ahead with that?
Okay, so that is a good idea, because you are actually talking about empowering the woman in the pandemic times and so forth, right? So I mean, I think you can put forward the ideas and start to write down the article, and when you send to Berita Harian, make sure that your articles really convey what are the maybe not only empowering, but what is the possible solutions for you know, to encourage women to be more empowered and sustainable. I don't know, maybe you can talk about that as well.
Yeah, all right. So if you want to ask any question, maybe you can also unmute your microphone and can ask directly to Dr. Shamsul. Dr. Shamsul, anything else you want to share with us? I think we stop for the Q&A for the time being. And you want to share anything? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Hello?
We can hear you. Go on.
So shall I continue, or are we?
Yes. You can continue. We're going to end up around 12 o'clock. Yeah.
Okay. Just now I mentioned Dr. Chin, right, from MMU. So this is actually the editor. You know, let's say I have to. I always send my news to this. These two news, one is Awani and then one is Berita Harian. So when I send to Berita Harian, I will use this email. Okay, so you can take down this email, and when you send this, make sure you have your cover letter prepared, saying that you are sending this article, for what purpose are you sending this article, and then you say thank you. Like normal cover letter when you apply, you send to Berita Harian, and these are the email to the editor. For the Awani, these are the editor emails. You don't need to send any cover letter for Awani. However, the editor might acknowledge you if, let's say, you know that your paper will be published. It might, but it not always. Sometimes they will say okay. Sometimes they say thank you. That's all. So when you write this, make sure that this is the email. And also for Berita Harian, you have this email, and also this must provided with cover letter. And this for Awani, you only send them to this email. Awani is digital, fully digital. Berita Harian, they have a paper, hard copy, and also for the soft copy as well. Okay. So have you, I hope you have taken this note. So next, okay, this is online certificate during pandemic. I completed online training, Introduction to Digital Journalism. Actually, this certificate by Reuters and sponsored by Facebook Journalism Project. So you can go to this website if you want to take this online certificate. So at least you know what are the ethics and for become digital journalism. Reuters digitaljournalism.com. Click Q&A. All right, Dr. Haziq, any question?
Yes, I think
Yeah.
we have another question from Shahrul Nizam from Unimas. So he asked you, what is your advice if he would like to email the editor for the first time before sending any of his articles?
Okay, in the email, you say that to the editor, if you are Muslim, you say Assalamualaikum, Assalamualaikum, I'm from which university and your position. I would like to submit to you this article that possibly can be submitted to you, this article, title what, and then after that, you say thank you for your help. That's all. So it's very simple email.
All right. Okay. So
yeah, but you need to, let's say for Berita Harian, you need to have cover letter.
Okay. All right. So I have a question, Dr. Shamsul. I just look at your few articles, right? You have a few pictures there. It's very interesting pictures. So are you taken by yourself or it just provided by the columnist itself?
The pictures is provided by the columnist. Only once they ask me to provide a picture, which I use free pic to give them the picture.
I see. So I don't know whether we provide ourselves or they could able to help us.
Yeah. Normally they will provide the photos.
I see. All right. So how about another one? I think everyone's here. I think when we want to know about the implications as a newspaper authors, okay, in terms of the legal action. So you know, right? Yes. How about it? How?
I think if once your news is out of Berita Harian or normally Berita Harian, they already thoroughly check through your articles. They are very particular for that because what I know that they are from legal background. Some of them from lots of legal laws. So I think they know what they want to publish. So so far if you as I mentioned just now, as the guidelines, right? When you see when you're planning, you must check also whether your articles from what source you use, whether it's from some unknown source or some information that is not true, unless you go to the information provided, let's say for help from KKM and from the Security of the Nation from MKN, right? So always verify from, I always verify from these two sources and also from Berita Harian itself. Or if you want to subscribe to or you want to publish in news like News Straits Times, you need to go to News Straits Times and see whether they actually have this article published before or not. Okay, if you want to publish an article, one of the tips is you can search for the similar article in Berita Harian.
Right. So I think we are towards the end of the session for our webinar session. I think I just take another last question from Mr. Petra, University Sultan Azlan Shah. So earlier, did you mention regarding the false info means as the author, we need to write the real statement. So do you ever encounter when you try to tell the truth, but then the newspaper requested you to turn the other side, right? So how do you stand and then encounter this matter?
Which I know, I think the media has already established their principles, right? Before they publish in media, where they know that the information that they publish is real facts, as I mentioned before, right? The procedure and all those. Maybe you can take this Reuters digitaljournalism.com, the online learning. Maybe you can have more awareness on that, and a part of that you can have a certificate, digital certificate.
I see. All right.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I think they are aware of that. They are aware of that. I mean, so far I don't have those issues so far, alhamdulillah. And then alhamdulillah, no issue at all so far. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Shamsul. So I hope all the participants can remain because we want to take the pictures, our virtual pictures before
thank you everyone.
Our end.
Yeah.
And then
maybe,
another one. Okay.
Dr. Haziq, one thing, if you are interested to publish article, if you want to pair, maybe there's a possible for that.
So maybe they can contact you through your email, is it? Shamsul at fskik.upc.edu.my.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
that's
depend on my availability. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so for those participants, I think the organizer already posted, we would love to have your opinions about our event and our future event. Please feel free to submit your feedback through those link. And then the e-certs will be issued after we receive your feedback for today. So we will share the e-certificate for you attending this webinar. But first of all, you have to submit your feedback to us. All right, thank you so much. All right, with that, I think we are at the end of the sessions. And then can you
stop sharing?
Yeah, stop sharing, Dr. Shamsul. Right. Can everyone feel free to switch on your camera so we can take a very nice pictures for to be kept for our mementos. Yeah, right. Okay, wait for a second. Okay, turn on your camera. All right. Hi, Chunin. How are you? Good.
Hi.
Right. Okay, so we're going to start from one page to another page. Yeah, so we start with the first page first. All right, give me a second. Can someone from the committee to help me out? All right. Okay, the first page first. Okay, smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, another second page. Okay. 1, 2, 3. All right. So yeah, alhamdulillah, we have almost 60 participants today. Dr. Shamsul, I think it's a very valuable sharing tips from you, and we should continue for another sessions about other topic maybe. Yeah. And for all the participants, we would like to apologize and say thank you to you if we
thank you all.
Making this happen.
Thank you, myHCI-UX.
Yeah, thank you so much for attending, and we would like to share this recording to our Facebook. Don't forget to like our Facebook, and we love to see you to join us as a member, myHCI-UX member. Yes, feel free to visit our website, and then we also offer if you would like to buy a merchandise, which is our T-shirt today, myHCI-UX, for your collection maybe. Yes, it's a microfiber. It's only 35 ringgit for peninsular and 45 for non-peninsular, all right, including postage. So feel free to have that, and see you for the next session. Thank you so much, Dr. Shamsul, and all the participants. Okay, say bye-bye. Thank you so much.